Hey there! Today we're going to be talking about one hidden source of neck pain, the jaw. Let's get into it. If you can't watch this right now, just add it to your watch later playlist and you can watch it whenever you like. Our first hidden source of neck pain that we're going to work on is going to be the jaw. This is by no means a comprehensive list of all of the sources of neck pain, but these are just areas that maybe you haven't thought of before, maybe your clients haven't thought of before. So why is the jaw a source of neck pain? Because when the jaw is tight, it's going to restrict your breathing. It's going to make breathing very difficult for you, for your client, and it's going to tighten up the muscles of the neck. So to prove this to you, what I'd like you to do at home is use your hands and just feel the back of your neck, even feel your upper traps. I'm just going to feel Savannah's here. And Savannah, I'm going to get you to clench your jaw as much as you can. Make it super duper outrageously tight. And of course do that at home too. And then try to breathe like that. What muscles are you having to use to breathe? Do you feel the muscles of your neck, of your upper trap, upper shoulders tightening? She says yes, and at home you guys should too. Now relax your jaw as much as you can. You might even let your mouth hang open a little bit to really exaggerate. Go ahead and do that. Let your mouth hang open a little. Breathe in and out through your nose and see how your neck feels. It should feel a lot more relaxed. So that's how I'm proving it to you. If these muscles are looser, your jaw muscles, your neck muscles will be looser. So people that are going to have this type of issue, they come in complaining of neck pain, but it might actually be coming from the jaw, is anybody who regularly breathes through their mouth. You might see them just hanging out with their mouth open. People who talk a lot, they kind of don't stop talking, or maybe talking is their profession. They have to talk for their job a lot. Anybody who tells you they're not getting very good sleep, or that they grind their teeth at night, and anybody who suffers from anxiety. Typically anxiety is associated with hurried, restricted breathing, and thus the tight jaw. So the first thing we're going to do is find the TMJ joint, the most basic area. So that's the temporomandibular joint. It's gonna be right, you feel the bone of the cheekbone as it comes back towards the ear, and just right around the edge of that bone, there's all kinds of goodies. We're gonna hang out today just below the bone. So in the direction, so you feel the edge of the bone, and in the direction of the feet is right below. That's going to be our little trigger point. So we're just going to pin right below the end of the bone, just to create some space around the joint. So you could hold there as long as you need to feel a release. It should feel really good for the client. And from there, we're gonna move to massaging the masseter muscle, which is gonna be running from that top of the TMJ joint down towards the chin. Kind of a long line on either side of the face. And you could really simply just use your fingers to press into the muscle and pull down. When you're pulling down, you're lengthening the fascia, and you're teaching the fascia what you want it to do. You don't want it to be contracting, you want it to be lengthening. You could, of course, also take circles. You can totally just do kind of some intuitive movement here. It's a funny little muscle, you know, just right there beside the teeth, this like little strip. So, you know, feel free to come at it from different angles, kind of play with pulling it away from its insertion origin, and seeing, you know, how big it is, what are the borders of that muscle. And now I'll show you some pin and stretch that you can do for this muscle. So I'm going to gather it actually from the bottom drawing up so that I can get a good hook on it. And then I'm going to have Savannah open her mouth as wide as you can. Exactly, so that's our pin and stretch. Go ahead and come back. So as she opens, ideally I'm holding a pretty firm pin there with my fingers, and she's creating that technique herself. Let's do that a couple more times just so everybody can see. So go ahead and open. Good, and close. We'll play with it a little bit. So once again, open. And then I'm gonna have you jut your chin over to the left. Actually, come back to center. People always do that. Yeah, just the chin bone. And then take it over to the right. One more time to the left and to the right. Back to center and relax. And you can see with Savannah, it's a little restricted, right? Like how much it can actually move to the left or to the right. And so that's a good indication that you're on the right path. You're in a good place to work. So we worked kind of like the top of the masseter muscle. Now we're going to be working kind of the more the lower portion of it. Close to the ear, it's just another funny little trigger point. I'm just going to show it here on the right side. So a little bit above the inner flap of the ear. There is all kinds of good stuff in here to work on. So again, I would just encourage playing, feeling the different itty-bitty little muscle fibers and tendons, and just working to create some space there. You may kind of dive into some stripping, working your way down to the lower edge of the chin. And you know what? I'll give you guys just one more that maybe you hadn't thought of. Working the ears. That actually is surprisingly connected to the jaw tension. When the jaw is tight, often the hearing is not so great either. So really, it doesn't have to be that complicated. I'm just going to take her earlobes and I'm going to pull them down, and kind of thinking of moving the whole complex like around in a circle, feeling for any restrictions and feeling where I can create a little more space. So even here, like I'm taking her ears like Dumbo ears out to the side, or pulling them up. If you're brave, you could take the inner flap of the ear and go a little bit upwards. And yeah, so that'll also encourage some release in the jaw. So something you could get your client to do at home, or you could even try yourself, is getting a yoga block and a lacrosse ball, and you can lay on your side so that the lacrosse ball is right onto the masseter muscle, and you can play with opening and closing your mouth, kind of rolling around on the ball, and that's really great self-exploration. A few more things you could research is the practice of intraoral massage, which is work that's actually done inside of the mouth. There's also stuff with exercises with the tongue, sticking the tongue out of the mouth and moving it around. And then there's also oromyofunctional therapy, where you're teaching people how to speak, swallow, chew, and breathe correctly in a way, all to precipitate release in the jaw. All right, so that's everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, then head on over to our Patreon. I'll see you there.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.